you're mixed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which parent is what?
My father's black, yeah.
And your mom is white?
Yep.
Okay. Now, from first impression, though, you look white.
Of course, yeah.
You've dealt with this your whole life.
Uh-huh.
So, do most white people think you're white, and do black people think you're black, or is it kind of, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, I understand. Yeah, no,
yeah,
I think,
you see what I'm saying? Because
yeah.
certain different races could see different features in
That's
in
weird.
people
I
and
get
so
that
forth.
all the time. Some people think that I look Hispanic, like with my curly hair and like or whatever, and then some black people are like, oh, I know you mixed. I know you got it in. You're just extra light skin, ultra light skin, like, joking around. And then some white people just think I'm just white, whatever the case. I think that's the funny part about going through all this, especially life in general, is when you're confident with who you are and you know who you are, you're set, you're golden. But if you allow other people to confuse you, you know what I mean? Then it's difficult because if I'm like, hey, I'm mixed, that's just it just is. Like when I had an interview with like Charlemagne, and he's like, what's your father? And I'm like, my father's black. He's like, okay, you're a black man. So but it's just a perception. It's their personal. They have to sum you up so they feel comfortable. Anybody, not just Charlemagne. I'm saying anybody. Yeah. So people say whatever the fuck they want. I know who I am, and I'm happy with who I am, and that's kind of all that matters. But yeah, some people see different things. It's almost like I look at myself like it's like a what's it called? Is it war shot? The ink blot mask, like ink blots. What do you see?
Well, I mean, the reason why I say it is because most times black is the dominant gene. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And with most mixed kids, they're just treated as black.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Of course.
Most times.
Yep.
You take a black mother or a black father and mix them with a white, and then most times they're brown skin, but, and this is kind of the interesting part also because, I've traveled all over the world. And like, for example, in America, if you have a little bit of black in you, you're black, right? But for example, you go to Brazil, and I remember I was with a friend of mine who was mixed. He was black and Russian. And I remember we got into a conversation with some Brazilians, and they were like, "No, you're not black. You're moreno." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they have their own. It's its own classification.
It's also like Dominicans as well. But then that's like race is crazy. That's why it's all about perception because like a Dominican person could walk in a room who's like of serious African ancestry. Like he just looks black, and for whatever reason, I don't know. Maybe somebody could feel like he could relate to the cause or this more so. But it's like, no, I'm Dominican. You know what I mean? Like I am Dominican. I'm proud to be Dominican. I'm not black. I'm Dominican.
Yeah.
So, but then I could walk in the room and and I'm like, no, I'm black and white. And they're like, no, you're white. You're white. Or no, you're black. Or you're this. Or you're that. That's why I said it really comes down to you knowing who you are. That's the biggest thing, man. Because it can fuck you up. Especially when you're in like the limelight. It's crazy, dude.